This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Precisely 6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. News edited by Lal Mallavarachi and read by Sharifa Tahir. Headlines. Discussions will be held with private sector employers to pay the 5,000 rupees allowance to their workers as well. 5 excellent women were honoured by the President. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation marks its 55th anniversary today. Revised bus fares are effective from today. Over 300,000 persons are to be provided with foreign jobs this year. News overseas. US reports record 1 million COVID cases with peak still to come. We move on to local news in detail. Finance Minister Basil Rajapaksa says all state employees numbering 1.4 million, including corporations, boards and authorities, will be paid an additional allowance of 5,000 rupees from this month. The group whose salaries were amended due to teachers' salary issue will also get the allowance. The minister said instructions were given to give the allowance to private sector workers as well. Government has decided to increase the sum of the allowance by another 1,000 rupees. Meanwhile, Minister of Labour Nimal Siripala De Silva says that discussions will be held with private sector employers to pay the new allowance to their workers as well. The Wise Woman National Programme was launched yesterday at the Bandaranaike Memorial International Conference Hall, Colombo, under the patronage of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. This program was launched with the intention of empowering women to the full potential and to get their contribution to the economy. The percentage of women in the country is 52%. However, a survey was revealed that the share of female labour in the total population is as low as 30%. The objective of the program is to provide skills development and vocational training for women and get their contribution to the national economy, the President's Media Division stated in a statement. Professor Nilaka Malavige, Dr. Asha DeVos, Kasturi Wilson, Nipuni Karnaratna, Melanie Vagarachi, Pavitra Gunaratna, Rangana Veeravardhana, Ayanti Gunasekara, Nelka Shiromala, and Tilanka Abewardhana were the women who contributed to the progress of the country by excelling in several fields. Skills Development State Minister Sita Arambepala stated that when women are empowered in our country, the country will not be second to any other country in the face of any challenge. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation today marks its 55th anniversary after becoming a corporation. An all-night Pirit chanting ceremony was held last night at the corporation's head office in Colombo in connection with the anniversary. An all-religious program will take place today at the Kumaratunga studio of the SLBC, which will be broadcast live. A special Dhamma sermon was also held at Anand Samarakund studio last evening. The SLBC became a corporation on the 5th of January 1967. Chairman Hudson Samarasinghe, Director General Chandrapala Liyanage and SLBC workers were present at the religious program last night. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation giving you the news.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus, the best option.
Continuing with more stories here at home. Poultry farmers have agreed to reduce the price of an egg by 3 rupees and the price of a kilo of chicken by 50 rupees, according to the State Ministry of Livestock, Farm Promotion and Dairy and Egg-related Industries. The farm owners have reached this agreement following a discussion with the State Minister D.B. Herath. The poultry farmers have taken this decision in response to the concessions given in the importation of materials such as wheat for the production of animal feed. The minimum bus fare will be increased by 17 rupees with effect from today. The decision to increase the bus fares was taken following discussions between State Minister of Transport Dilum Amunagama, officials of the Ministry of Transport and the National Transport Commission, and representatives of private bus owners associations at the State Ministry of Transport last week. Accordingly, the minimum fare for travel in state-run Sri Lanka Transport Board and private buses will be increased by 3 rupees from 14 rupees to 17 rupees from today. That's local news for the moment.
In 200 meters, turn left.
This is not just my daily commute. I drive to power my nation's future.
Sri Lanka Insurance Motor Plus introduces specialized motor insurance for you who drive our nation forward. Choose tailor-made insurance solutions, up to 75,000 rupees claim settlements within 3 working hours. Exclusive discounts through Motor Plus loyalty rewards, easy and 0% interest payment plans.
Only from Sri Lanka Insurance.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The first batch of Korean job recipients this year left the country last night. The group is consisted of 89 workers. 48 of them have returned to the country from South Korea after employment and going back again. The other 41 are leaving for the first time after passing the Korean language proficiency examination. State Minister Priyanka Rajaratne says that over 300,000 persons are to be provided with foreign jobs this year.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
And on Watchlight, the Association of Medical Specialists warns that it is inevitable that the Omicron variant will cause a massive wave of infection during the coming weeks. Therefore, the AMS strongly urges everyone to take the booster dose of the COVID-19 vaccine in order to reduce chances of clinical disease, protect the vulnerable, prevent hospital capacity being overwhelmed, and prevent a lockdown which could lead the country to further economic disaster. The Omicron variant of the coronavirus is spreading rapidly around the world and has superseded the Delta variant in most countries. That's on Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
World News headlines. US reports record 1 million COVID cases with peaks still to come. Curfew in Delhi as India COVID cases surge. English Channel migrants crossing numbers in 2021 triple 2022's figure, or rather 2020's figure. Moving on to world news in detail. The US has recorded more than 1 million new COVID cases as officials warn the peak of a fast-spreading Omicron surge is still to come. A record 1,080,211 cases were reported yesterday, the highest one-day tally of new cases anywhere in the world, according to Johns Hopkins University. The Omicron variant accounts for the majority of cases in the US. The top US pandemic advisor, Anthony Fauci, has said the country is facing almost a vertical increase in cases. India is bracing for a third wave of coronavirus as its largest cities, the capital Delhi and financial hub Mumbai, see a surge in cases. India reported 37,379 cases yesterday, a 5-fold rise in a week that experts say is fueled by the Omicron variant. Nearly a third of those infections came from Delhi and Mumbai, where cases are rising most steeply. Both cities have brought back curfews and other restrictions to halt the spread of the virus. Finally, on world news, the number of people who crossed the English Channel in small boats last year was triple the number of 2020. Figures compiled by the show at least 28,431 migrants made the journey in 2021 despite huge UK investment in France to prevent crossings. A Home Office minister said the government was reforming its approach and introducing tougher asylum rules. Refugee charities say the dangerous and callous policy will lead to more arrivals and drownings. That's world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Ministry of Urban Development and Housing says remote villages and towns are being developed on the instructions of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa under 100 Cities program. Steps have been taken to develop Jayantipura, Madirikiriya, Valikanta and Aralagamvila towns. The ministry said development activities of the towns have been completed by 90%.
Development news was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
And on sports news, President of the Sri Lanka Netball Federation, Randani Jayakoda, says they have already started preparations for Asian Netball Championship this year. The netball chief further said their talent search program on provincial basis is highly successful, and already these programs concluded at Central, Northwestern, Southern, North Central, Western and Northern provinces, and Sabaragama and Uva province programs to be held shortly. All programs were conducted within 2 weeks at this hard period, with provincial associations giving good support to the National Federation. SLNF have confirmed their participation at the 12th Asian Netball Championships from September 3rd to the 10th in Singapore. That's sports news.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The Bank of Ceylon received $3.5 billion worth of foreign remittances despite the pandemic, said Chairman of Bank of Ceylon, Kanchana Ratwatta, at the commencing of operations for the New Year 2022 ceremony at the BOC headquarters recently. He said that this figure was 2.5 billion earlier and reached 2.8 billion in 2020. This is a very remarkable achievement as it was done during the height of the pandemic, he said. During the pandemic, the BOC Export Circle was launched by the bank, mainly targeting and benefiting the SMS sector, and this has been very fruitful. That's business news.
Business news sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
In economic news, Sri Lanka will likely sign an agreement with India next week to share an oil tank farm in Trincomalee with Lanka IOC, a subsidiary of the state-owned Indian Oil Corporation. Energy Minister Deyaga Mampila said the cabinet approval for the agreement was obtained last night and a date for the signing will be decided soon. Sri Lanka is to lease 14 tanks to India Oil Unit for 50 years. And that's economic news.
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The weather report.
Showers or thunder showers will occur at times in eastern and Nuwa provinces and in Polonnaruwa, Matale and Nuwara districts. Several spells of showers may occur in Mullaitivu and Anuradhapura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Kandy, Gaul and Mathura districts during the evening or night. That's the weather update, and heading back to the headlines before we wind up this bulletin of news. Discussions will be held with private sector employers to pay the 5,000 rupees allowance to their workers as well. 5 excellent women were honoured by the President. Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation marks its 55th anniversary today. Revised bus fares are effective from today. Over 300,000 persons are to be provided with foreign jobs this year. In foreign news, US reports record 1 million COVID cases with peaks still to come. With that, we conclude this bulletin of news.